Today I'm going to be analyzing how graffiti in Townsville affects Townsville residents and the perceived livability of their community. To begin with, I went to 3 sites to observe graffiti: a stormwater drain at Pimlico, Bowen Road Bridge near RSL Stadium, and Denham Lane, which is a busy spot in the city. These photos are taken from the stormwater drain in Pimlico. On photo 1 and 2, you can see the land used around that area. The land around is mostly used for residential, such as housing, and commercial use, such as shops. There is also a bit of educational facilities around. On photo 3 and 4, you can see why most people wouldn't spend time there. These reasons include overgrown natural vegetations and unpleasant wet areas. These are the reasons why this is an ideal place for graffiti. In photo 5, you can see the actual graffiti. Some of this graffiti appears to be legal or authorized street art. These photos are taken from the Bowen Road Bridge. On photo 1 and 2, you can see the main land used around the bridge. The 2 main land uses are residential and sporting. On photo 3, you can see that there's a fire and litter under the bridge, clearly showing that there are other crimes committed in the same area. This is the reason this place is ideal for graffiti. In photo 4, you can see where the graffiti was. It is now painted over, which must have costed money for the government. These photos are taken from Denham Lane. The difference with this graffiti is that it is legal. It is a piece of art. Denham Lane is a very busy place with much entertainment, commercial, and residential buildings. Before we go into how graffiti affects livability, let's see what makes an area a target for graffiti. These are some of the common factors that the unauthorized graffiti sites had. A common factor between the graffiti sites was poor visibility. The reasons why the visibility is poor are that there are no street lights. Both sites are not easily seen from main roads and walkways. In addition to this, there is overgrown natural vegetation that adds to the poor visibility, and there was no real reason to be under a bridge. Now that we have seen the areas themselves, let's talk about how graffiti affects livability and what people of different age groups think of it. To find out what people thought about graffiti, we constructed a survey. We asked the people these questions: do you like authorized graffiti, and do you like unauthorized graffiti? Then we asked the survey participants to identify themselves as over 20 or under 20. These are the results. As you can see, based on the evidence of the graphs, unauthorized graffiti in Townsville was not liked by neither people under 20 or over 20 years old. In fact, 90% of people under 20 disliked or didn't mind the unauthorized graffiti, while 100% of people over 20 disliked the graffiti. However, authorized graffiti or street art was very popular, with 90% of people liking it under 20, and while approximately 80% of people liking it over 20. A conclusion that I drew from this is that authorized graffiti in Townsville contributes to its residents' pride in the city as it makes it more beautiful, therefore increasing people's perception of livability. However, unauthorized graffiti does the opposite. Now that we have seen how graffiti affects livability, let's look at how it can be used to change a place for the better in economic, environmental, and social ways. An alternative strategy that provides opportunities for emerging artists to interact with the community through projects that encourage ownership and pride, while benefiting the place economically, socially, and environmentally, is to construct a big art project. This could be a big playground, a park, or even a statue that could be decorated with graffiti. It would benefit Townsville socially, as it would make things seem more beautiful and make people want to hang out in these areas more. Environmentally, as donating to the construction of the site could go to environmentally friendly organizations, and economically, as if it was big enough, it would attract more people to live in Townsville. For example, a section of the RSL Stadium or some other major building in Townsville could be painted. Another strategy is to start a modern type of painting for homes. A person could say what design they want to graffiti in their house and pay a local artist to do it. For example, this place could be a fence, a floor, or even some furniture in a room. This would make Townsville homes more interesting to look at and a bit more expensive in resale. This is good for economic and social factors. Graffiti artists can use their skills to improve the Townsville communities in many ways, like we've seen. Another way that artists are able to use their skills in the Townsville community is starting schools in places like the Strand to teach people how to create good street art. Then they could see if there were any great artists and then pay them to create an art piece in a place like the Strand. Some of the benefits from this could be artists that already know how to draw but don't know where can apply to this school, therefore allowing them to have their own space to create and design artwork. They could also become tutors at that school and teach other people the same skills. Also, it would be good economically, as it would decrease the cost of local council have to pay on covering illegal graffiti. Naturally and socially, as it will make the whole place much more beautiful. In conclusion, we have seen how authorized and unauthorized graffiti affects perceived livability, what makes an area a target for graffiti, and how it can be used for the benefit of a place like Townsville.